Yo, what is going on, my fellow weebs? Chrono here, and welcome back to the channel. So before we get started with today's update video, I do want to take a quick moment and address a few things really quick here for the channel. First and foremost, it was brought to my attention, or at least I noticed after looking through a couple of things, that there was an issue with my audio setup that was causing a very annoying humming, not like a high-pitched hum sound in my actual audio recordings. Now, this has been present for quite some time apparently. Going back through a lot of my previous content, I just kind of started to notice it over and over and over again. And because of this, not only has this video been delayed basically, but a lot of my videos had been compromised, and there's not really an easy way for me to fix that problem. Now, I do want you guys to feel as though you guys can come to me with these issues when you do hear them, if you do hear them. Now, it's possible you guys just didn't hear it itself, or it's possible that it just was very prevalent to me, or maybe you guys felt like you couldn't say anything or anything along those lines. I know some people have felt that I've been fairly irritated recently, and that's almost true. But this is something that does play to the quality of my channel. I do want to have the best quality I can for you guys moving forward. So if something like this ever comes up and you guys notice it, please, by all means, let me know. That way I can address it and we can go ahead and move forward itself. And that I don't review these things in advance, is that I don't always catch them the same way. So if you guys do hear stuff like that, please let me know. Right now I'm like hyper aware to it, so I'm like listening for it like crazy. But if anything like that ever pops up again, just by all means, let me know. Either way, we do have another update video for you guys today. But before jumping out, if you're new here, as always, I'm Chrono, primarily cover PSO2 content. Would much appreciate it. Subscribe as we're going towards that 10K mark, hopefully by the end of this year. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this. So what's kind of crazy here is I was actually really upset that I didn't have this video ready for you guys as soon as possible, only to realize the servers haven't even come up yet. Apparently they've been delayed on maintenance completion up to 7:30. This is rare. I know some people, I've seen some people on Twitter upset when they announced that it was delayed. You know, they didn't have a time frame or anything like that. But it's rare that we get a delay. So not really. Yeah, it looks like at 3 o'clock to be determined, 5:20 to be determined, and then 7:30 was the time frame that they provided, and that was about, for me, about 14 minutes ago. So that's kind of wild that it had a bit of a delay, but it actually works out perfectly for me because it gave me enough time to set up and test some new things, get some things taken care of, that we can go ahead and record this video for you guys today. Anyway, going back now, I did miss the chance to make the server maintenance video that I normally would make whenever there's massive patch notes. We will go back to doing those when I'm able to and I don't have any problems like I was dealing with earlier, but at least for now, you'll have to forgive me. We're going to include it in today's update video. So today's update video is going to be fairly long. I didn't want to hit you guys with a ton of different videos or anything along those lines. What I'll try to do is go in and make some timestamps for the individual video itself to maybe make it a little bit easier for you guys. So today is the fated day that Braver gets its class expansion. Now this is the final class in the list of classes that is required to get an expansion. I believe Waker might be seeing one. I'm not 100% sure because I'm not sure about the animations or anything along those lines. But this is covering every single class finally getting its expansion. Now granted, I do believe some classes need a second pass, but that's not really either here or there. So I'm curious to see where they're going to go after this. But taking a look at this here, Braver balance adjustments, at least if my Discord is to be believed, it looks like Braver got a lot of buffs, potency increased, or if Twitter is to be believed. So either way, taking a look here. Now keep in mind, there will not be any percentages. They usually don't give those percentages. For that sort of stuff, you usually have to wait for the servers to go up for the guys to mine the exact percentage amounts and values for testing and so on and so forth. So first things first, the following adjustments will be made to Braver class. Resta effect amplifier. Increase the HP recovery amount when used with main class. So this is going to increase the amount that you actually get a heal when it's used with the main class, which is nice. It should, I mean, this isn't really an effect I care that it is for main class or not, but it is what it is. Rest assign PP gain. Change specifications, the rest assign can be used even when at max HP. That's pretty nice. So even if you have max HP, you can pop a rest assign regardless of the situation itself. Brave combat. Increase the effect duration, reduce the cooldown time, increase the combat finisher potency, add an effect to the second hit of the katana combat finisher to knock back enemies. I see, this is actually throw. You don't want to knock enemies back usually. This isn't good. So hopefully, I mean, unfortunate for Bravers there. This is going to be a situation where you're going to kind of lose a little bit on your AoE, but AoE positioning, but hopefully it's not too bad. And then ease the firing angle of photon bow combat finisher. So that's not too bad. Brave combat short cycle. Increase the effect duration and reduce the cooldown time. So Basically what they've done is they made it so Brave Combat lasts longer and it reduced the cooldown is shorter. So it looks like it's going to be, there's going to be a really heavy balance around Brave Combat. From my understanding, there's a new skill for Brave Combat that's going to make it so your next couple of PAs after Brave Combat is going to be enhanced, almost similar to that of enhanced normal attack that some people have been using. Katana Guard Counter, they increased the potency for your Katana Guard Counter, which is nice to see. Katana Guard Counter Advance increased the shockwave potency, expanded the shockwave range, and increased the shockwave velocity at firing distance. This is something that I didn't really think needed a buff, to be perfectly honest. It's already kind of a hit scan almost. It's not exactly a hit scan, but it's pretty powerful in that sort of sense. But good to see you getting more buffs there. I like to see the increased potency. That's pretty dope. Katana Guard Counter Plus. Oh, actually, let me phrase this really quick. So if you notice, it says Katana Guard Counter got increased potency, and then the Advanced or Guard Counter Advanced got increased shockwave potency. The reason why these are separate is because the actual hit of the katana and the shockwave count as two separate hits. So usually being right up against your target's gonna be important. So they buff both of those, which is nice. Katana Guard Counter Plus. They increased the potency of the, okay. Extended the attack range, eased the firing angle, changed specifications so that close range behaviors is executed upon activation when locked on inputting either directions, forward or sideways. So basically it's less of a chance for you to miss your attack whenever this is being used. I love to see that. And then Katana PA Combo Finish, increase the potency. So this is the normal attack that I believe you use after you use two PAs. It's like the 1, 2, 3 situation. Relax the input timing for Fearless Attitude, extended the attack range, eased the firing angle of the attack. Fearless Attitude, increased potency, change specifications so the attack occurs at the targeted location. So good, like this. Don't like the fact that there's still an issue with Fearless Attitude. At least from what I understand, that if you pop Fearless but you drop to the ground, if you're in the air just barely, it will cancel your Fearless. So I don't think that's been changed, and unfortunately, I think that's gonna be something I'll have to hope and pray that they come around to eventually. Katana SC Skip Arts, they increase the potency. Bow Illusion Counter Parry, this is good. This is the one I hopefully it's buffed by enough. I don't know, but you do want to see Bow's counter get buffed primarily because right now it's worth Bow just sitting in the back of the room spamming PAs and not really interacting with the fight. Though in most situations there are fights where you just can't get away with doing that, so it just caused a very, very poor situation for Bow where they would want to just spam PAs in the back of the room or hold a charge PA. But they couldn't. Now, hopefully the counter actually puts them in a position where sitting in the back room and spamming isn't actually the best thing for them to do, but to be in the fray like every other class. Photon Bow Attack Impact, increased potency. Added homing capabilities to the attack. Oh, wow. Increased ammo velocity, so it's faster. Added an effect to prevent launching and knockback when activating Photon Arts while... Activate an effect to prevent launching and knockback when activating Photon Arts while a potency increase is applied. They gave you super armor on the PA that you use. Interesting. Made adjustments so that if an attack is canceled via launching or knockback before it is fired when activating Photon Arts with a potency increase effect applied, the effect is not consumed. So if there is a stronger attack that can knock you back when you go to use a PA, if it's early enough, they're going to make it so it doesn't actually consume your activation of that increased damage of the Photon Art. That's actually pretty dope. So interesting. Okay, so Photon Bow Attack Impact seems to be have gotten a pretty nice buff there. So Katana specific adjustments. Adjusted attack effects, of course, expanded the attack range for Katana sidestep counters. So your sidestep counter is bigger. Don't know if that was really necessary, but cool. Adjusted Katana sidestep counter so that players are not moved too close to enemies when attacking. Okay. This is an issue for whiffing, basically, if you were moved too close to your target. Following adjustments will be made to Katana Photon Arts. So Silverleaf Storm got an increase in potency and adjusted potency distribution. You're going to see this a lot of potency distribution. What this essentially means is that they moved around where the damage is being done from. So let's say, for example, take the value of 100 to a PA. That PA hits in 2 hits. And let's say 20% of that value happens in the first hit, 80% of that value happens in the second hit. If they then take the potency distribution, they make it 50-50, and they make it so it's 50 in the first hit, 50 in the second hit, the damage doesn't change, but the potency distribution does. That's essentially what that means. That's a very rudimentary example of how that works, but just know that that's kind of what you're going for in that situation. So increased potency and adjusted potency distribution. relax sidestep cancel timing, increase motion speed when the third step is activated, so a bit more speed on the third hit. Extended the forward guard point when the third step is activated, and relaxed fall timing. Okay. Relaxed fall timing. You know what? This might be the thing that fixes that issue that I have with Fearless Attitude. If they relax the fall timing, you might be able to maintain your height, so that way you don't hit the ground and Fearless Attitude doesn't, like, you know, cancel or whatever. So who knows? Maybe that's what they did here in this situation. Maybe you maintain your height, so it's not as much of a problem. Iris Scale. So that was Silverleaf, very, very commonly used. Iris Scale, increase potency and adjust potency distribution, relax weapon action cancel timing, relax sidestep cancel timing, extended the omnidirectional guard point when the third step is activated, and relaxed fall timing. You have an omnidirectional guard on the third point, on the third step. That's kind of wild, man. I mean, it's good. It's very good. I'm of the opinion that katana counters should be very powerful from the front, but not contain omnidirectional guard unless it is Fearless Attitude specifically. But that's just that's a balance thing for me personally. That's neither here nor there in this situation. Lotus Lightning, increase potency and adjusted potency distribution, relax weapon action cancel timing, relax sidestep cancel timing, ease hit stops when attacking enemies or when attacked by enemies while attacking, and relax fall timing. So Lotus is a PA that I believe needs a pretty decent amount of a buff, since it's utilized for a lot of katana's down damage. But I believe it needs to be buffed in TAC, not just in raw damage, just to make it so it affects specifically that situation, to not overshadow the other portions of katana. But we'll have to see how they go about this and what the values they change are. Radiant Lilac, increase potency and potency distribution, relax sidestep cancel timing, increase motion speed when third step is activated, and relax fall timing. So it looks like the third step of a lot of PAs are being made faster, basically. So Silverleaf and Radiant Lilac are both getting an attack speed increase on the third step. Iris Scale is getting more guard frames on the third step. And then Lotus has less hit stop when you're getting attacked by enemies. The thing is like Lotus's thing is like it's high amounts of commitment, but it's also high damage for that commitment, you know? Bow effects. This is where, okay, this is the bigger one. Good. This is where it needs to be bigger. Bow adjustments, adjusted attack effects, of course. Fungus we made a photon bow. So flex arrow. Increase potency and adjusted potency distribution, decrease PP cost, very nice. Relax weapon actions cancel timing for both charged and uncharged attacks. Relax sidestep cancel timing for both charged and uncharged attacks. Relax input for timing for bow illusion plus for both charged and uncharged attacks. Expanded the attack range for the second level of charge. Change the forward guard to omnidirectional guard points for the second level of charge. Relax fall timing for the second level of charge attack. Increase the photon bow attack impact charge amount for the, okay, so this got a flex arrow got a massive buff. Interesting. Frenzied Firework, increase potency and adjusted potency distribution, decrease PP cost, relax sidestep cancel timing, both charged and uncharged, relax weapon action cancel timing and sidestep action cancel timing, both charged and uncharged. Increased input timing, relaxed input timing for bow illusion plus for both charged and uncharged, and increase bow attack impact gauge charge amount. So increased damage, reduced PP cost, reduced animation lock basically, and then increased how much you get for impact gauge. Dimensional ray, increased potency and potency distribution, reduced charging time, so dim ray does charge faster. Nice. This is the sidestep weapon action cancel. They reduced the animation lock on this. Basically, you're able to cancel these easier. And then they relaxed input timing for bow illusion plus for both charged and uncharged. So very nice. And then ceaseless draw, the one thing that you would like spam in the back of the room over and over again because of how it wasn't worth interacting with bow P or with your target with your counters and things like that. Increased potency and adjusted potency distribution. Relax weapon action cancel timing for both charged and uncharged. Relax sidestep cancel timing for the same thing. Relaxed input timing for bow illusion plus. for both charged and uncharged. Added omnidirectional guard points for charged and uncharged. Increase photon bow attack impact. Okay, so yeah, they made it so basically you're getting more impacts faster. Did Flex Arrow get this? Actually, I don't think it did. I don't see Flex Arrow with this change. Interesting. Okay. That's a decision. I don't know if that's the one I agree with, but that is a choice. Okay. And then Tech Arts customization adjustments for bow. The following adjustment we made. Okay. Frenzied Firework. Increase bow attack impact gauge charge amount for type 1 charge attacks. Increase potency of type 2 charge attacks. Okay. Interesting. I don't really know a whole lot about this one. This one's going to be something you guys will have to explain to me. So let me know if that's really solid in the comments below. What do you guys think so far about the changes that you see here? You have to, of course, get your hands on them. Don't just take this with a grain of salt, or say take this with a grain of salt. Don't just take this kind of on face value. So far, what I've read, I like. But part of that also assumes that bonuses or values were adjusted to the values they need to be adjusted to. A very, very big part is going to be if Bow's counter is finally worth actually using and interacting with. I would have liked to see a skill, honestly, that allowed you to like get a counter and then just get like, whenever you get a counter, you get like a full charge, like a sped up charge or something like that on your next PA that you actually, or your next bow PA that you charge. I thought that'd be really cool. But assuming that these counters actually are worth doing now and do enough damage, it does seem like it's going to be worth using and being in the middle of the fray. We'll have to see. There are some other changes that are past this. So if you guys are just here for those changes, yeah, Katana's or Braver's sounding pretty solid. We'll have to get our hands on it and test it out here fairly soon. Enemy changes. Changed where the enhancer is affixed to the boss on a Rook and Snow Rook. Made adjustments to the boss enemies Crocodilus and Crocodilus Vera so that player attacks are more likely to hit their weak points when they're downed. That's actually really nice. Made adjustments to the enemies Emperor Rappy and Great Rappy so that blight rounds marks are displayed on the enemy lock-on points. Thank God, that was annoying. I'm sure these changes are happening because those bosses are going to be a part of urgent quests that they bring back, or sorry, limited quests that come back as urgent quests that come back as limited quests. Quests and fields. So change specifications for the story quest episode 5, Avoid Persona. Wait, sorry, a void persona, the masked incarnates, so that it can be accepted after completing any rank of the trigger quest, the Malevolent Void. Story quest episode 5. Avoid persona. Is this base PSO2 change? The masked incarnates. I actually don't know. That's weird. Okay. Change the name of the object training targets that can be destroyed with a photon blast to training target for photon blast. Okay, so change the name of the object to training target for photon. Okay, I see. Change specifications of the quest completion display on the following, or change the specifications of the quest completion display in the following ways. Featured item drops are now prioritized in the list of the results, so they're gonna be at the top. Featured item drops are now prioritized in default sorting for the quest summary rewards view. Change the sort in the items in the alt tab. Okay, yeah, so they made it so basically you don't miss out on things that are basically the more important reasons for you to be there. So it's easier for you to notice them. Interface specifications have been changed. The item trader to allow the quantity of material items to be selected up to 999 or more. Cool. Specifications have been changed. The personal shop rarity to coincide with the additional legend rarity. That's interesting, actually. Specifications have been changed. The list for selected materials in the exchange shop show, okay, locked and unlocked weapons, basically. Beforehand, if they were locked, I believe they just didn't show at all. Now they'll show, but they'll be locked. So you can kind of tell exactly which weapons are supposed to be there or not. I feel like that's kind of pointless, almost. But I guess it's so you notice that your weapon is locked. You don't accidentally upgrade the wrong weapon. But yeah, either way. The sorting criteria under the alt tab and temporary drop storage and temporary quest storage has been changed. Character creation in the creation tab, when enable cell shading is selected, the character cell shading settings face. Okay, cool. This is nothing too crazy. Items. Added some of the items from the Super Genesis Festival 24 SP Scratch into the special Scratch lineup. Added the new items to the product list of the exchange shop under purchase build parts. Specifications have been changed so the following items can be made into multi-weapons. I don't know why this matters, but this is mostly for memeing, but it is what it is. Out of the following items in the product list in the exchange shop Arcs Record Badge. So we got the Varicol Almighty, the Millennium Round Almighty, okay, so we got basically new camos. the CV variants basically of some of the old camos. So pretty cool. Change specifications of the item recycling. So the following items are now available for exchange as target count bonuses. Dope. Okay. And other specific changes: remove voice chat feature from the game. Returning player survey has been removed. Vision change. Okay. Nothing too crazy here. Confirmed issues: a bug where the thumbnail is not displayed correctly for the accessories Force belt. Okay. During Lucille exploration, Lucille combat analysis zone survey that the object Tyndall may sometimes disappear without exploding or dealing damage to surrounding enemies when destroyed. A bug with the Braver class skill. Oh, there's a bug with the Braver. Okay, hold on. A bug with the Braver class skill after combat PA extension where the effect is not applied. The effect is not applied to the second and subsequent hits of the photon arts when photon bow has been enhanced 6 times. Oh, is it because the bow? So is it because the enhanced PA of the bow is either overriding? I think it's overriding the Braver class skill. Yeah, okay. So the new Braver class skill is supposed to enhance your PA afterwards. The thing is that you can also enhance your PA by using is it like a counter? I think is it like yeah. Basically, there are other ways to enhance bow PAs, and if I think that's causing it not to work properly. So there's a bit of a bug in here. So definitely take what you play with a grain of salt, because there is an issue that they need to go ahead and work out with the that situation. Likely what probably delayed things, I imagine, is probably something to do in here. And then bug fixes, of course, blah 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 blah. Nothing too crazy there. Okay, let's jump into the update information. So, Lucille exploration updates. Up to 8 players can team up to conquer each sector in a new progressive quest Lucille combat analysis zone survey. The sector layout and suppression target enemy changed on a daily basis. As a player clears sector, they can freely choose one from many random ability enhancements to strengthen themselves. I would have much rather seen this be every single run changes. They're stuck on this whole daily thing, but it is what it is. At least the buffs are not like stagnant. They're random and they change, and everyone gets different ones. So that's pretty cool. So you'd have to pay attention and get the buffs you actually want to get, and runs can change from run to run. So we'll have to see how that goes. I'll definitely be playing that on stream as soon as I get all this taken care of. Push forward against suppression target enemies at the final area while enjoying making ability. Yeah, cool. I mean, yeah, it's all good. Additional limited tasks and titles are there. Cool. New equipment and more. New rarity, or new legend rarity with new mechanics for weapons. The Legend Dios series obtain stock, or sorry. Legend Dios series obtain stocks when sheathed and consume them when attacking, allows you to generate an ally support area for party members and deal extra attacks. The new 12-star Clerodam weapon series effects increase critical rate and damage resistance, reduce PP consumption, and make enemies easier to down. So these will support TWAV, and these will support you. Like that, I'm actually curious if it's going to be kind of meta or optimal to have. I mean, it's gonna be optimal to have at least one of these on the team, but I wonder if it's gonna be optimal for everyone to have one, and to swap to it between fights. Like as you're going from fight to fight, you have it, stocked on your back, and then you use it as an attack since it has to be on your back to be able to generate the stacks, and then use it, and then after the stacks have been used, you swap weapons. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna work out. New EX augments and Braver class update. Of course, we read over the Braver class stuff. With our new EX augments, apparently new Defi type augments as well. Don't know why. No one cares. People don't really like those old dual quests anyway, but if they can be made even easier, then sure, by all means, go for it. There are 4 new EX augments. So these new EX augments, 5 new EX augments. I'm going to go over them in a separate video and kind of how they combined with the current setup. And as people were concerned because they saw them on their own, this is just for display purposes. These will be mixed into the pool with everything else. The idea is for these to actually work alongside of other EX augments in general. I'll say off the rip, the crit rate one sounds really, really good. What is this one? I think is additional attack, a normal attack, and it always crits. And then there's like one that's like when you crit, it does something. Yeah, increases potency when you crit with your normal attack. So classes that just do a normal attack as part of their combos are going to be very, very powerful with this combination. So we'll have to see. And then of course they talk about Braver class update, how it looks. It looks pretty cool. So yeah, good stuff. New cards added to Line Strike. We love to see that. Line Strike. I know some people are like, oh, who cares about Line Strike? There are players who actually do enjoy Line Strike quite a bit. Not just on the global. I mean, there's a lot more on the JP side than on the global side, just because they have like 10 times their player base. But in reality, there are players that do actually like line strike quite a bit and do play it quite a bit. So I can't say I'm one of those people. I probably would find one deck if someone could like, teach me a single deck and find that and play that deck and just do that to the best of my ability. Or if there was a place to learn those decks, I'd figure them out, so on and so forth. Talk about the different skills that are being added in. I just like looking at the cards. I think this card looks neat. It's a robot. I like it. Various improvements and new features. Equipped or locked items will be grayed out. Yeah, we talked about this. More build parts. Yep, we talked about this. Workers Ensemble AC Scratch. We haven't talked about this, but it's pretty lame. I'm not going to lie to the people. It's not a very exciting scratch, but it's here. I do want to say, though, if I were to pull on this and I get grabbed while and I get hit while I'm air blocking, I want money back. All right. I will ask for my money back in that situation. All right. Time to catch up. Beginner and returning player support campaign. So massive buffs to get to 80. More end Meseta as part of the storyline, basically. I mean, the 300% experience boost has been in here for a while, for I think up to like level 65 zones. Looks like it's going all the way to 80 now. So yeah, it looks like it's applying to a bunch of different zones. They talk about the things you get normally as you go through the story. So you get your hexa weapons. So people ask me like, I get, I'm getting locked in the story. I can't continue because I don't have enough BP. You literally get extra weapons from Liulin. In chapter 1, you use them. They will carry you through there. And then of course in chapter 2, the Evil Code series will carry you there. And then when you hit level 65, the Epith series will carry you from there. So there's literally no progression of anything you have to worry about. They kind of give it to you the entire time through the story. Easy to get started, even by yourself. Yeah, bonuses earned to subclasses, 90% experience earned for your subclass. Very easy, very simple. This isn't like new to new characters. This has been changed for a while now, so you can relax, enjoy playing alone too. I mean, yeah, you can play with NPCs, support NPCs, things of that sort. New characters can be adjusted for free for the first 72 hours. Your first 15 days of NGS, you can play without worrying about storage space, as they will give you a material storage for 15 days. More battle power, more story quests. Oh, no more battle power restriction for story quests. You can no longer be locked. So this, what I said earlier, doesn't apply. This isn't happening anymore. You're good. Should it be automatically uncovered as you progress with the story? Wait, what? Unlocking a region by proceeding with the main story will automatically uncover the Trainia facilities in the previous region. Moreover, you can directly teleport to them from the map and complete Trainia to get skill points. This is pretty big because it was really annoying to have to find all the different Trainia. So just do your story until you unlock the next zone, and then double back into your Trainia, and then do the story in the next zone, go back into your Trainia. I don't know if this was something they changed a while back, but this is really nice. We plan to go through the game again, as we usually do once a year, to have that experience. So look forward to that. 5 million Meseta in-game currency. They basically, new accounts get a bunch of crap. they give you so much stuff. They give you so many things, dude. It's insane. From fashion to camos, so you can't even complain they don't have a decent camo. There's some pretty good freaking camos in the mix here. Outfits and things of that sort. There are limited tasks for you to complete. 5 million end Meseta. I would highly recommend saving this for your upgrade costs of your actual gear. Do not burn this on fashion. I know you want to. I know people are going to say, yo, I burnt mine on fashion. You're going to hurt yourself in that situation. Get your like very basic, basic level gear done. And that's all you need. Then you can burn the rest on fashion. Burn everything on fashion. That way you can actually get farming pretty solid. Star gems, Genesis points. Dude, that 1,000 is how much I spend to get my buffs for the day. That's so little. 100 star gems. That's nice. Okay, that's solid. That's solid. That's solid. Those are okay. And then of course a bunch of free fashion as you go through the story. And if any of this is new that applies to us as players, like current players, we're just going to get them automatically. So like, let's say for example, they're giving more and Meseta out. We're just going to get a hold of that as soon as we log in. This is the Workers Ensemble AC Scratch. Again, it's kind of whatever. Yeah, I don't really care too much for this, to be perfectly honest. It depends on if the coat has decent physics. If it does, then like cool. But if not, then it's kind of one of those kind of whatever situations, at least for me personally. These eyes are pretty dope. So, oh, the hair's not bad either. Hair's not bad and the eyes are pretty cool. So we'll have to see. I like the safety pin earrings. Safety pin earrings, nice. Canines or whatever. And then Skulls usually goes over these in more detail on her channel. So in case you're curious about that, I'll leave a link over to there. Aim for the 12 stars. Setup campaign for 12 stars. So Need help securing enhancement funds for 12-star auxiliary weapons? We've got your back. Don't miss out on the treasure shop. Sale plus fantastic limited. Oh my god, okay. Store completion campaign. Make a 12-star auxiliary have reduced cost. Treasure shop spring sale. Interesting. Where does this take me if I click it? Take it to a different part of this actual article. Okay. So, the Tricelia series will be available with preset skills in the treasure shop, the End Meseta treasure shop during the campaign period. Additionally, upgrade materials will be on sale at a huge discount. For 30k, you get a Tricelia weapon, and you get Tristasis armors with preset skills on them. And Mars updaters, or I don't buy Mars updaters. Don't buy Mars bars. They give you they're cramming Mars updaters up your butt in everything you do. Do not buy them. Please don't. Stop it. Just stop. You probably have a ton. Go do content. You have a ton. So this is just from leveling. Just go through all that stuff. You get your money. Yeah, I look, they added more End Meseta to doing specific things. So you're going to get a chunk of money as you log in today. Just take the money. Nice. Things are getting a little more expensive because everyone just got a chunk of money, but it is what it is. If you don't have a Tricelio, bam, you do now. Get it. Get it, upgrade it. Tristasis armor also with preset skills. Very solid. Get it, upgrade it. Arcocelio is super easy to make. So just make your life as easy as you possibly can. Get your weapon taken care of. There are new weapons that are out. I don't know how strong those new weapons are. We're going to go ahead and do the math for those. And I will let you know once we get that taken care of. That'll likely be in tomorrow's video. Boost details, enhance success rates. Okay, these are, ooh, nice, nice, nice. You love to see all of this. 90% off is what they should be, honestly, and it probably should stay that way. Arcocelio, create one Arcocelio weapon. Get 1 mil for making an dude, you get a mil for making an Arcocelio. Go make an Arcocelio. Literally, they're giving you a mil. Go make one, you get a mil. I'm gonna, even if, like, listen, if I don't get a mil for free because I have one, I will go make a new one to get the mil because it's cheaper. So just go make your Arcocelio. Take on quests for extra rewards. You get some star gems, more star gems at End Meseta. More star gems as well. Okay, dope, dope. And then rare drop rate boost applies to the rhodium weapons. So you love to see that. And then I'm going to go ahead and refresh this. By now, it should say, yep, maintenance has completed at 7:30. So it completed a little while ago. Like I said, this video is going to be a long one. So let's go ahead and hop into game and take a look at everything there. As we flow through a very familiar tunnel and get into game, we see a huge pop-up ongoing campaigns. Can't say you've missed any of this. A bunch of things just completed as I logged in. So you're probably going to see a lot of that popping up here on your end as well. We will skip our SG supports, or we'll skip our scratch for now. Go ahead and, yep, looks like the Alliance is taking care of that. And if you're curious about Alliances back the way on ship 2, feel free to apply for Clock Tower. Just let me know you've done so. Sale is currently going on in this shop here. Quest set, what is this? Large operator augment chance. The vouchers are kind of what's worth here, but I wouldn't buy this for the vouchers. PSO2 day stuff. This is just the PSO2 day stuff. Okay. Same thing applies. Make sure you just come in here. Get your free X cubes for the day. These reset every single day, so get your free X cubes. But let's just take a look around here really quick. We have the workers ensemble. This is the only thing I care about from this is this coat. And it doesn't look bad, at least, you know, off rip. I actually think it looks pretty solid. We'll have to see. It's probably expensive, right now? If there's even any available. Servers have only been up for like about 20 minutes, so I imagine it's going to take a little while before any of those pop up. And this is not a very, like, what's the word I'm looking for here? Not a very high value scratch, I would say. People aren't really chomping at the bit in this one, so to speak. I did get a chunk of Meseta that popped in, so we do see that. Let me see if I can see that in my system. Yeah. So star gems, star gems, star gems. A bunch of tasks completed immediately. So let's see how that goes. Let's take a look at the tasks. So taking a look at tasks here. Our daily is our usual. I have 1 minute remaining because my daily is about to reset, but no big deal there. I didn't do dailies yesterday, and not the end of the world here. But I do like the way that this is actually showing the 0 out of 1 here, so you can tell exactly how many times you have to do stuff right from there. It's actually really, really nice. Weeklies, let's see here, nothing too crazy here. All right, PSO2 day stuff is PSO2 day stuff. This is just free star gems. Boss weapon, boss suppression. Oh, never mind. Upgrade weapons. Here we go. So upgrade the designated weapon. So make yourself an Arcosilio. That gives you a mill. Lucille exploration. And then the usual stuff, right? Okay, yeah, not too bad. Not too bad here. Honestly, I have an Arcosilio to upgrade, so that is pretty solid. Let's see if we can look around and check out some of the new shops. So if we head over to the item shop, if it decides to load, it usually is very, very slow. We can see there's some upgrade items or some upgrades around here. Grinder exchange is upgraded. Oh yeah, those have been added in. Okay. Record badge camos have updated. So we have the Vario Cool, the Millennium. I honestly think these are probably one of like the ugliest ones, honestly, like legitimately. Those look terrible in my opinion. And then well, these aren't bad if you like this sort of style. The color choice isn't terrible here. But I think that's it here. If we go down to, none of those really matter all that much. Equipment upgrade. We can see this has it been reduced? No, just says it's new for some reason. I don't know why, but likely because of what's been going on. The weapon badge shop is the weapon badge shop. It is what it is. It always has been. It always will be. Nothing too crazy there. Let's go ahead and take a look at Lucille's drops. As we know, Lucille will be Lucille in this situation. So let's take a look really fast. Lucille exploration. So we can see the weapons here. There's also a camo, a CV variant of the camo that also drops. You love to see that. So if you do like what the weapon looks like, there's also a CV variant of the camo. I wonder what color that is. And then that's really about it. Looks like our boss today is Ruin Griffin. They really love to pick them. They know exactly what boss to pick that I wouldn't like. All right, outside of that, there's got to be a couple of things for you to check out. So hold on one second. Let me do a quick pass, and I'll be back in just a sec. Oh yeah, I want to take a look at the treasure shop. So taking a look at the treasure shop here, we have Tristelio. It is, ooh, it's set to 50 max and has attack 3 on it. Honestly, this is actually not bad. Attack 3 is basically what you're going to want. Either attack or blaster. I always recommend people, if you're not 100% sure, just go attack. The reason I recommend attack specifically is because it applies universally, so it's pretty easy. But you can see, it looks like it's not always the weapon you're looking for, so you have to go for a refresh. See if you can get the weapon. It's, I guess, a bit of RNG involved. Like, you have Vita armors here. You buy this 3 times. You can only buy it once. Okay. Don't buy Mars bars. You can buy evil. Okay, hold on. You can buy those straight up, so that's nice. Is there anything else in here that's worth? Yep, there's more of these. They're really cheap, actually, so if you haven't been collecting yours, I mean, I'm not sure. These might have been here for a while, and I just completely overlooked it because I really don't look in this shop very often, so it's definitely a possibility. But collect those. It's definitely worth grabbing. I wouldn't say armor is worth grabbing unless you don't have armor. If you don't have armor, that's great. I would recommend going for the orange ones unless you just don't need PP. Then I would recommend going for the green one. The VOs, the blue ones I used to go for, aren't bad either. It's just the option of maintain balance with shortage HP is actually pretty powerful nowadays. So I'm hard pressed to recommend going with the HP-less armor just because you may want to have a larger HP pool to mess around with maintain balance shortage, which is pretty powerful of a combination. Though with the new EX augments that have just recently come out, that might not be that powerful of a combination anymore, depending upon your class. So take that with a grain of salt. I think personally the green and the orange variants of these have more use than anything else. But we'll go ahead and buy these, and then we're going to go ahead and do a quick refresh and see what happens. So it looks like the weapons did change. We do have different weapons now. Looks to be 2 melee weapons, 1 range, and 1 tech-based weapon. The armor did not change. It looks like it's not always Evil Volt 3s. We got Evil Volt 2s in this situation, which we definitely don't need. I have like 800 of them. I'm actually gonna buy them. That's not true. I'm gonna buy them because I might use them in Activance 1s. That's kind of wild. I definitely don't need those. I have 3600 Activance 1s, so that's definitely not gonna be a necessity in the slightest. Those should have probably only reset to 3s in my opinion. So we'll go ahead and buy these. And then I think I didn't pay attention if the katana was up there beforehand. I should have probably picked one up if there was, but we'll do another refresh because we're premium. Since then we got a gunblade. And each time we got a Vita armor. They were Vita every single time. I didn't check the fix of the last armor. You guys have to go back and double check, but they did come out natural, so that's pretty solid. Activance 2 is pretty bad. I'm not paying a mil for 2 master fragments. That's dumb. Aegis and Tiger is not worth spending on. And that's pretty much it here. Now, this is pretty solid. That's pretty cool. Like, the event shop is not the worst. It's very odd the way they're doing this here. This is RNG based. This is probably should just be there. Like, you should just be able to buy the weapon regardless. Hopefully you guys get lucky and you get what you need in that setup. But it's kind of willed. It's kind of weird that they would go about it this specific way. I'm not sure why that's the case, but to each is their own, I suppose. Yeah, don't buy these. Don't buy Mars updaters. Don't buy master fragments. Please don't buy Mars. I don't even care if they're discounted. Don't buy Mars updaters. They're not worth it. And let's do one final pass, and let's end this insanely long update video. It's been a while since we had a lot of updates to go over. All right, I do believe that covers everything for update video. However, I am human, and there is a good chance I missed something, so please let me know in the comments below. Either way, like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe when you keep up with more. As always, thank you to channel members. You guys are fantastic, and I appreciate every single one of you. Channel members, keep an eye out. I think I might be adjusting some channel member costs and things like that. I want to make the base level just more appealing while also being more affordable. So that cost may go down, but it also might cancel your channel memberships. I'm not 100% sure how that works. So just keep an eye out for it. You may need to adjust it or something along those lines. But yeah, anyway, thank you, my friends. Peace out. Also subscribe. Yeah, I did it. I did the YouTube thing. What I'm going to do, cut myself off in the middle of